Hello everyone! Welcome back to my channel. My name is Alex. I'm an artist in San Antonio, Texas. Welcome to my studio. Today I'm going to be filming a quick-ish video about all of the art that I made in February 2024. I am going to go through really everything from tiny sketches in my smallest sketchbook up to more finished pieces, practice paintings, finished paintings that will be for sale, and a few commissions that I have some photos of. So I'm really excited to get into it and get started. I'm going to go ahead and turn you guys around so you can see what I'm looking at on my desk. Okay, let's get into it. So I have stacks of work that I have created this past month, and I'm really excited to share this stuff. I'm going to be starting with my tiny sketchbook. So move some of this out of the way. Oops. Tiny sketchbook. So this is my little drawings from life sketchbook, and it's just little pencil drawings that I try to take this around with me and just kind of draw whatever I see whenever I happen to have this on hand. So I'll go through this kind of quickly. But this was, we were waiting at the Phoenix airport and kind of part of the architecture, like outside, kind of a post. This is a pigeon that we saw also at the airport, a portrait of my partner Caroline that did not come out that great. These are our beers at one of the breweries that we went to on our trip. And this is Caroline's hand holding their phone. As you can see, just really quick little sketches. These are really fun to do. This is a horse. This was a statue, so it is still from life, but it was kind of cool that it was like this horse in motion because it was from a statue. And this is one of the booths at a restaurant that we were sitting at. For these four, I was actually sitting in the same spot at a restaurant. These were our beers on the table, Caroline's hand and phone on the table. And whenever I looked out the window, I could see this horse statue. And then this is like the booth across the walkway from us. I'm still sitting in the same spot here. Caroline looking down at their phone, and a ketchup bottle. And then this is a beer glass that must have been from a different day. And then the other day I started to draw a table and didn't finish. I got distracted or something. So that's all for this tiny little drawings from life notebook. Okay, so I want to get into my main sketchbook. Put it right here, and then so that I can flip through and it'll stay nice and still. Okay, so at the beginning of February, this is where we started. This is from an art hang party, which I talked about before. It's a YouTube live drawing party type of thing hosted by Melissa Martin, who is an artist in Toronto. And she sets up reference photos, she sets up the stream, and you watch her draw and you draw along with her for these different reference photos. This week we were drawing Shetland, Scotland, which was awesome. I did I think it was all Neocolor, at least this spread is all Neocolor. So this was the first image, and then this is 3 separate reference images that we were just doing really quick. I didn't write down how long these were, but maybe 2 minutes or something like that for each of these references, and then that keeps going. So these are some different landscapes from Shetland, Scotland, and yeah, it looks like this is just Neocolor, and then I added water to some, and then this one is just pencil. It might have been watercolor and then Neocolor also. This is another reference. So this was kind of one, it had a lot of layers and atmosphere to it, so I wanted to use more of the spread to show that, and then it's a little small landscape that we looked at. And then animals, this was also from the Shetland week. So these are sheep. So I wrote sheepies on there just for fun. But yeah, these were a lot of fun to do, like the little stacked sheep. I don't know how they did that. And this one that looked really regal with his hair blowing in the wind, and these little guys standing together on little twin hills. 2 horses, or maybe like ponies. A woman standing in like a little farm area, and then one of those long-haired cow things. These came out really cute. And this was the last bit of the photo references from the Shetland, Scotland images that were people. And this is a woman who was at like a knitting festival type of thing. She had kind of like her badge for the event and was wearing a hand knit hat. And this is a photo from behind of a bunch of people wearing all of these different hand knit hats with all these crazy patterns. So I did this one first, and then decided whenever we flipped it around, there was a bunch of people in that reference photo too, but that I would just do a little illustration of one of them. And I really like how that came out. This section here, this page, I found some watercolor pencils. Let me find them, I'll show you. This is it, Prismacolor watercolor pencils. I found these at Spare Parts, which is a local like reuse center for arts and crafts supplies. So it was like they were used and then they sell them like really cheap to the community. So I bought these for like $3 or something, and I was excited to try them out. So I just swatched them and then drew this little protea to kind of test them out. This is another art hang party where we did master studies. So this is probably my favorite spread in this entire sketchbook so far. I wrote what the reference was. This was a landscape by Van Gogh, and this one was a woman with a parasol by Claude Monet. And I did these with Neocolor 2s and maybe some watercolor. I really, really love how these came out. I love the colors, and I think they are pretty representative of the references. Got my parchment in there to protect these pages. And then this was another one from the same Master Studies stream, but it was very dark. It had a lot of like dark shading and stuff, and I knew I wouldn't be able to get that quality with the Neocolor 2s, especially in 20 minutes. We did these in 20 minutes each, or 10 minutes? I think we did 20 minutes. So I just did it with pencil and then left this page blank so that they wouldn't rub against each other. Another art hang party. Lots of art hang party in this sketchbook, which makes me really happy. In this one, we did random reference photos, but we did each one for 30 seconds, then 2 minutes, then 5 minutes. So this is the 5-minute drawing of this boat. This one I did just Prismacolors. 30 seconds trying to get the boat, 2 minutes, start to get some color and more details in the boat, and then 5 minutes where I actually get some of the shadows and the details into the boat. And seeing this progression for each of these was a lot of fun. So a boat, this one, what was it called? Stargazing pie or something, with the fish that are like stuck in the pie. That one was so odd, but it was really fun, and it was fun to see people's drawings and illustrations of that. This is a little like tourist couple. It's just like, this is so funny, trying to kind of get the idea of them in 30 seconds with a few different colors, and then they look more like people, and then kind of trying to get their outfits and everything in. And this still isn't a great representation, but it's just funny. I think the shapes are kind of like off and wonky, but getting more of their outfits in and everything was really fun. This little bear, so trying to get him like sitting down and then starting to get his fur and shading, and then getting more of a full rendering of the cute little bear. I think these are the last two. Same thing here with the cake. Once I got to the 5 minutes, you could actually see the shape of it coming together. You can see the cherries, all the little decorations and everything. And then with this little bouquet of flowers, like I didn't notice that there was this flower sitting by the base of it until the very end of my 5 minutes, which is just funny. Like you look at it and you have to keep looking at it and keep drawing it to really understand everything that's like in the image. So that one was a lot of fun. Okay, so for these spreads, these get a little bit chaotic because these are from my Arizona trip, which I talked about a little bit in the intro, but I kind of had, okay, so I actually did this one first because this is from the last art hang party before the trip. We did negative space animals. So we prepped the pages before. So I colored with Neocolor and then added water with this like red and orange and yellow. And then went in with a black permanent marker and a white paint pen to make these animals. So these are like this 4 different reference photos. And then I was gonna do this one next. And I did this seal, that was like a negative space animal. But then I had to go from that art hang party. I don't remember what happened, but then I kind of still had this page prepped. So I played with the black and white a little bit more, but then these little doodles I actually did on our Arizona trip. This is from a brewery. These are little details from a brewery. This was kind of some ideas of some cactuses and rocks that I had seen on a hike. And I just kind of left that really loose because I just kind of wanted to move on. Okay, this is another page that I had prepped this for art hang party and ended up just using it in Arizona for things that I saw there. And I had a lot of fun just kind of putting together different things that I was seeing. These like big pots that had cactuses and stuff in them were just like outside of our hotel. This is a sculpture outside of the Phoenix Museum of Art. This is a little portrait of my dog. We like left him to stay with a company and they send you pictures sometimes. We got a little picture of him. This is from the Phoenix Museum of Art. It's some of the Barbies. We went to the Barbie exhibit. It was really, really cool. The logo of a brewery that we were at, the beer from that same brewery. This was in the art museum too, and I took a photo. So at this point, like I was sitting at the brewery and kind of drawing what I was seeing and also some different things from my camera roll. This is a Neocolor sketch that I did really just from memory of one of the hikes that we went on outside of Phoenix. I called them like Pancake Rocks, like all these kind of layered, like flat, rounded rocks that were layered on top of each other, and kind of walking through these big rocks and rock formations was really, really cool. And they had some of the saguaro cactuses, other plants, and then these like jet stream things in the sky. It was really cool. So I just did this one as a fun kind of from memory sketch of that. So I can put up some of my photos from that hike so you can kind of get an idea of what I was seeing and what I was thinking about. And then this is a Waymo vehicle. In Phoenix, they have these Waymo cars that are like autonomous, like they're self-driving, and they operate like Ubers. Like you could either like get one as your Uber, or you can get the Waymo app and like ride in these self-driving cars like in downtown Phoenix. And we kept seeing them and I was so fascinated by them. And I just think like we got to ride in one and it felt like the future. Like I just think I'm gonna remember that ride for a long time, and that there's gonna be a lot more self-driving car rides in my future. And I thought that'd be fun to remember, like this was the first one that we saw and that we rode in, and it's just like became a big part of this trip because it was such a cool experience and we kept seeing them, you know, over and over again. But yeah, this another portrait of my partner, another picture of a beer that we had. I was sitting and doing this page at a brewery that we were sitting at in the afternoon. It was after we did this hike. We went to a brewery to get food and everything in the afternoon. This is another one of my favorites. I posted this top spread on my Instagram and some people really liked it. This was actually kind of the view from the hotel that we stayed at in Sedona, Arizona. It kind of kept going, but this was kind of the most interesting part to me, and I squished it together a little bit so that I could get more of it on my spread here. But I was just really trying to play with my Neocolors to get good layering and get some good color that was representative of what I was seeing there. And it was just so nice just sitting out there in such a beautiful spot and drawing so that I could remember like that moment. Sedona was amazing. I was there for my birthday. And yeah, just something I'll remember for a long time. These little pencil sketches underneath it. I thought this was so nice, but I didn't want to distract from it. So I just added some pencil sketches from my camera roll that were other small memories of things that we saw in Sedona. And then this is a little sketch of a cave. It was like not a cave like underground. It was kind of inside some like arches made by the rocks. And I was able to kind of climb up in there, and it was a really cool experience. So I sketched that, but I ended up doing a bigger one of it later on. So here's some more of these rock formations in Sedona. This one is Prismacolor. And then again, just things from my camera roll. So this was my birthday dinner. This is Montezuma Castle, which is a national monument. It's a cliff dwelling. Oh, these are some things from our campsite in Tucson. So my water bottle, we saw a roadrunner that just kind of casually walked by our campsite while we were sitting, and I think I was drawing this, and this guy just walked on by, and this is our tent. But this is a better kind of rendering of that cave that I was like crawled up into. So I'll put the reference photo up because I drew this after the fact. Once we had left Sedona, that was on the hike in Sedona, I was drawing this in Tucson at our campsite. That's all Neocolor too. And then that is actually it for this this sketchbook for February, because the other things that I have next are things that I made once we came back from that trip. Here we go. This is the same larger sketchbook that I talked about last month. So yeah. Oh, okay. I hadn't talked about that yet. So going kind of back in time to the art hang party master studies. This is another one of those, and I just decided that I wanted to do it in acrylic, so I pulled out this larger sketchbook. I did have this page prepped with like a light cream, like gesso and paint, so I painted this one on here. It's a Bouquet of Roses by Pierre Auguste Renoir, and I really like how this one came out. Again, it was like 20 minutes of painting. This one, it's a cupcake, obviously. This is part of a quick video that I posted kind of recently, where I was just doing some painting, kind of trying to finish some things up. I had some leftover paint. I was thinking about wanting to do kind of little like birthday cards and things like that. I've been working on trying to make prints of my work. So I thought it'd be fun to do a little cupcake. Also, my birthday's coming up, so I just have birthday on the brain. These are some ideas that I had for little cards and things. I have the cupcake. The idea of like the tree rings is also interesting to me as a design for a birthday card. I haven't done a completed print of this yet, like or a painting or anything. But it's because it shows the age and it shows the years, but it's more natural. It's not gendered. It's just years. And I think that would be really cool to have on a card. So I want to do a painting of something like that. I need to find a good reference photo that I could use for that. A little strawberry, which I did end up painting a strawberry, and some little like baby's breath type of flowers I think would also be really nice on a little card. I don't remember what I was doing here. I was just messing with my... Oh, it was because I got new colors of the Neocolors. Yeah, that's what it was. I ordered more colors, And so I was just playing with them to see kind of like what they were looking like. This is a sketch that I did for a painting that I ended up finishing later that I'll show in a second. And that's it. Okay, let's talk about this stack of paintings on paper and panel. These are in no particular order, but this month I wanted to start being a little bit less precious with my painting practice and just work on painting a bit more. So I got some watercolor paper and I was working on just prepping it with gesso and just doing more paintings. I was also interested in doing some portrait practice. So some of these are just flowers or from reference photos, and some of them are practice portraits, mostly from Pexels portraits. So yeah, just a little flower, a little carnation from some carnations that I had at home. Here's one of the portraits. This one is not my favorite. It doesn't really look like the reference photo, at least not with the likeness. I don't know, maybe it kind of looks like Emma Stone or something. But this one I didn't trace like the outline of where things would go. I tried to just go in with paint, and I think it's just slightly off, and that's why I don't have the likeness and I'm not as happy with it. But for some other ones, next, yeah, like this one, I prepped the paper with kind of a mid-tone for the skin tone, and then like traced in just the really important like dark to light areas, like where the eyes are, where's the edge of the face, where's like this line where there's shadow around his mouth, and then started to layer in like the color and the shadows and everything. And this is coming out really good. This doesn't feel finished, but I was really liking it, and I like that because it has kind of a mid-tone as the background, it like kind of does look finished. So I want to play with this idea more. Eventually I'd like to do portraits as like commissions, but I think I have a little bit of ways to go with my like skill and my confidence with it. But I'm proud of myself for spending some time practicing these. There'll be some more coming too. This was just a super quick for fun, kind of from memory. I feel like you can tell that it's from memory because it's so simple. And just kind of playing with color. This one's upside down. This one I didn't end up really finishing, but this is a bouquet that my partner got me for Valentine's Day or my birthday or something in between. And I got a little frustrated with my pink paint like options. I felt like I needed like a hot pink and couldn't really mix one with the colors that I had available. I have ordered another like magenta paint since then, so I'll have to keep playing with that idea and see if I can get a good hot pink. But yeah, little birthday bouquet, kind of unfinished and rough, but still nice. Here's another practice piece that I did. This is from a Pexels photo reference, and I've been thinking a lot about wanting to do more commissions that are like people's wedding photos, landscape travel photos, like different interesting stuff like that that I think people would like to, you know, have on their wall and keep. So this is a Pexels wedding photo. I just thought it would make a really cool painting. I'll put the reference photo up so you can see, but I really like how this came out. And I think if I were to do something like this even bigger, like his face wouldn't look as crazy. This is only 8x10, so like my tiny brushes, like I wasn't really getting it right on his little face, but I mean, I think the overall effect of this is really nice. Here's another practice portrait. I'm liking this one. This is another Pexels photo that I was working from, and I think it ended up coming out pretty good. I think this is the first one that I did, but I ended up adding more layers to it after working on my other ones. Here's another Pexels reference guy. My issue with this one is instead of having a mid-tone in the background, this paper was prepped with like green. I don't know if you can see, but there's like a mint green like underneath it. So then where there's gaps, it's green. Where it's been making more sense for me to prep the paper with a mid-tone of the skin tone. So if I would have prepped it with like a light medium like brown, and then the places where there are gaps didn't look as like green, I think this would have come out better. I ended up moving on from this before I really felt like it was finished. Okay, let's talk about this little one. Is just a little calla lily that I ended up doing a lot of layers on. This is a, what is it, hot press, or this is cold press paper where it has the texture, and I'm really enjoying the hot press paper more. Like this one is a hot press paper, so it's smooth. Whenever I prep it with gesso, I really like the way that it feels. This cold press paper, I think I like it for watercolor. I remember using this a lot for watercolor, but for acrylic, I don't find that I like that texture. So that was really just a little experiment. Another portrait. This one I feel like is looking a little flat, and I think that the reference photo wasn't the best because of the like shadow. Like there wasn't a lot of shadow on her face. There was really only shadow kind of on this edge. So it's hard to like bring out the like three-dimensional quality of her face. Like it seemed like the light was kind of shining this way. And whenever you have more of a dark side and a light side of the face, it's easier to kind of capture. So this one also doesn't feel super finished to me, but it felt like good, important practice, and I'm glad that I did. Here's another one of the carnations, a little bit more finished than that other one. I was thinking, oh, I'm gonna love this because I liked the photo that I had taken, like this is gonna be such a cool one to like make a print or something, but I just think I don't like the finished effect. I think the yellow is kind of harsh, but yeah, also just the flowers and everything. I think that I would need to redo this one, but I'm also kind of over the idea of the carnations. But yeah, that's why it's nice to just make things on like these little panels, which pretty much all of these were ones that I had painted on before and then I like re-gessoed and I'm reusing. So it's not precious, and like it's okay that this isn't going to become anything. It's just practice, and that's what painting needs to be for me, is a daily practice, because I want to continue to get better and make things that I really love. This is the last one. I like this one, but it doesn't feel like me. This feels like Lily Pulitzer, which is not my vibe. But I'm definitely gonna hold on to this because I think that there are some things that would be nice to embody some of this looseness in. I like how loose it is. I like the bright colors. And maybe if I had the looseness and the bright colors and the brush strokes and it wasn't floral, it would feel more authentic to me. But yeah, this was just kind of a fun experimental one. And then I was like, oh, I kind of like that. So I didn't really keep working it. So yeah, that's all these little paper and panel pieces. There might be more in here somewhere, but I think that's all. That's definitely all for now. And then let's talk finished paintings too, because I have a few finished paintings from this month. We'll do these first. So these are, I did 3 8x10 wooden panels. Oh, that one has a hair on it. Yeah, and these, I really like how they came out. I did have like a plan for them and I felt good about it going into them. So I went ahead and painted onto the panels. And I'm thinking I'm going to do small prints of each of these. This one's a mocha pot. And I really like how it came out. Not too much to say about it. A little strawberry. I just worked from I think a Pexels reference photo for that. I think I kind of joined 2 strawberries together so I could get the shape how I wanted it. And then a little bouquet kind of bluebonnets, just a little set of 3 bluebonnets. And I'm really happy with each of these, and I think these are going to be kind of staples in my print collection that I'm working on. So I'm really happy with how these came out. The last things were just two pet portrait commissions. And I'll just show pictures of those really quick.
Hey, it's me again. Just wanted to say thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate all of the support that I've been getting on this channel and with my videos. It just means a lot to me that people are watching them, commenting and subscribing and all that. So if you're new, leave a like, maybe subscribe if you want to stick around. And if you've been here for a while and you've been watching my videos, thank you so much. I so appreciate it, and I'm looking forward to doing even more. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!